In our previous video, we were in the middle of reading the article titled Why Americans Lead the World in Food Waste, which is a part of step 3 in the project plan for completing assignment 3 of PBL 2. So we have to go through all of these different steps to lead up to completing the technical brief parts 1 through 3. So remember, on our project plan, we had completed already 1 and 2, and we are in the middle of 3. So in our article, we left off where we were learning how in 2014, camera cuisine became a very popular thing, where people wanted to take pictures of pretty looking food to post on their social media. And so this is one of the reasons why ugly food is not popular or desirable. Nobody wants that because they don't want to post a picture of it. So this is where we left off in the article. So we're going to finish reading the article, and then we're going to kind of sum up our learnings, and then we're going to move on to task number 4. So Wells relays a story of being shutter shamed after posting a picture of trout that did not meet a certain communal artistic benchmark. E-retail version of this experience might be a farmer's market where a bunch of ramps or sheaths of leeks would be shunted aside if they couldn't pass muster on the Nancy Meyer set. So basically, this person got shamed for posting a picture of something that was less than pristine or perfect fish. Paul pushes back against the idea that the anointed few seated at the head of the table might be oblivious to the cause of food waste. Especially in the last year, foodies and chefs have catapulted the issue of food waste into popular conversation, she adds, naming initiatives by chefs and public intellectuals such as Dan Barber and Roy Choi, as well as the poo-poo platter of coverage of the issue in elite food magazines. Last year, the Obama administration announced a public-private campaign to halve the more than 2 million calories that Americans waste annually by year 2030 by focusing on improving food efficiency, recycling, decoding food labels, and ending waste to deliver food to the 1 in 6 Americans that are hungry. So I'm going to read that again because that's a lot of information. Last year, the Obama administration announced a public-private campaign to halve, so that means to cut in half, more than 2 million calories that Americans waste annually by the year 2023 by focusing on improving food efficiency, recycling, decoding food labels, and ending ways to deliver food to 1 in 6 Americans that are hungry. Meanwhile, startups like the Bay Area's Imperfect Produce are starting to deliver ugly but otherwise consumable goods at a discount. So this seems to be a solution that the Obama administration came up with for reducing American food waste. So I'm going to make a note of that because this is one way that the Obama administration tried to solve the problem. And I might use the information when I think about how I want to solve the problem. So let me make a note. The Obama administration worked to introduce ways to reduce American food waste. Now, elsewhere in the world, the tinkering between policy and public education is underway. France has banned supermarkets from throwing away food by directing them to compost or donate all expiring or unsold food. Germany is focusing on the issue in part by reforming expiration dates, which many argue are arbitrary and problematic. So this is important, right? So France made it illegal to throw food away. That's a big deal because now you have to find something to do with it. You either have to use it or you have to give it away, which is good because there's lots of people in the world who need food. So France made it illegal to throw food away. And Germany, it says, is working on reforming expiration dates. It says which are arbitrary and problematic. A lot of times, right, this means arbitrary and problematic means that the expiration dates that's put on food, they're not always accurate. So even though it says that a loaf of bread is going to expire on a certain date, right, it still could be good after that date depending on how we store it. So it's not always the best source of information to follow when we're making decisions about buying food. So I'm going to make a note, right? These are some things that other countries are doing. So Germany is working to change the way expiration dates are determined in an effort to waste less food. Okay, so we know what France is doing, we know what Germany's doing. Let's see what the rest of the article has to say. The United States may still have the farthest to go, right? So we are behind, which is good because that gives us a lot of opportunity in our project to come up with some ideas because there are not many ideas already out there. My hope is that as food education proliferates, so as people learn more about food, we will have an appreciation for ugly fruits and veggies, biodiversity, local crops, and so much more, all of which can help mitigate food waste. Paul adds, wouldn't it be neat if the power of Instagram was used to share recipes for carrot top pesto and food scrap stock? Or if we had easy to use apps for sharing extra produce with neighbors or food pantries? Both ideas I've already seen foodies, looks like there was a word here. I guess maybe they're like experimenting with. So here are some ideas, right, on things that we can create to help reduce food waste. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about what type of business you want to pitch, right? What can you do? Here are some ideas, right? Using Instagram to share recipes of food that was made by ugly produce, or apps to share ugly or extra produce with neighbors or food pantries. So these are some ideas. Here are some ideas for wasting, right? I guess, no, for ways to waste less food, right? These are some things to think about. Think about when deciding on your own idea to pitch. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. That is the completion of task number 3 on our list for our project plan. And so it's complete. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight it. And in the next video, I'm going to work on task number 4, which asks that we read this article, Ugly Fruits and Vegetables, Why You Have to Learn to Love Them, to learn about how companies are marketing ugly foods. So please be sure to watch the next video to see me complete task number 4.